What is up, guys? It's Little Black Belt here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the F8F-1B Bearcat in War Thunder. So this is a Tier 4 propeller plane for the Americans. It's right here. It comes right before the F7F, although it used to be right here, right before the Banshee was introduced. It was right here before the Panther. But here it is, sitting at 6.3. Is not to be confused with the F8F-1, which is the Bearcat with the machine guns. This one has cannons. It has 4 AN-M3 20mm cannons. Those are the faster. They're like the faster AN-M2s, like what the Corsair has. These are the same cannons that are in the Panther, in the Banshee, and I guess in both Panthers. So they're very good guns. You can one-shot stuff with them. They're pretty powerful. But let's talk about the plane here. So the Bearcat is really, really good. I think it's my favorite prop plane in the game. It has an insane climb rate. I mean, this is the arcade stats because I always have it to arcade, but the realistic stats are pretty good too. Let's take a look at those. Yeah, so it's a really good plane. And the F8F-1 is comparable, but it's not the same. I think the turn time, at least the stat card on this one is a little bit better than the F8F-1. But I prefer the 1B over the 1, just because of the firepower, and the F8F-1 doesn't have a whole lot of ammunition. I mean, it looks like it does, but the Browning M3s are really fast-firing 12.7mm machine guns, so you blow through that ammunition really quickly. This thing you can afford to spray a little bit because you get 826 rounds of cannon. I mean, don't waste it all, but you can afford to miss a few shots for sure, because this plane has quite a bit of ammo. So I don't have it spaded. I don't have the last rocket thing in the bombs, but as far as like plane components go and how the plane will perform, it would perform like a spaded plane, all maxed out. I do have a talisman on it because I like it so much. I use the universal rounds. I'm sure you could use stealth too, but for these cannons you have to lead quite a bit. So, and I don't fire them all the time. So I like to have those tracer rounds so that I can see what I'm shooting. So yeah, this is a really good plane. You will sometimes face jets. Actually, quite a bit of the time you can face jets, but so when you're fighting against on Hokkaido, you'll fight Tempest 2s, Tempest 5s, some of the Griffin Spitfires and Meteors, and for the Russians, you'll fight Yak 17s, Yak 15s, Yak 9, UTs, LA 9s, LA 7s. When you're fighting the Germans, BF 109 K4s, 109 G10s, TA 152s, Focke-Wulf D9s, D12s, and D13s, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it is a high tier prop plane, and there will be times. Oh, sorry, I left out the Japanese. A lot of times in Japanese you'll fight R2Y2s, Ki 200s, N1Ks, Ki 84s. But with when you verse against Japanese, you'll tend to be fighting a lot more jets. They have a lot more low tier jets. If you look here, battle rating 7.0. The Ki 200 is 7.3. Sometimes you'll see a Kitsuka, but a lot of people don't fly it because it kind of sucks. Oh, J7W1s, you'll see some of those. So that's pretty much what you'll be going against with this thing. It's a really good plane. We're going to take it out into realistic battle today, and I have one pre-recorded, so let's have a look at that one. Alright, so here we are in the match that I had pre-recorded. We are on the Korea map, versing the Russians. So, we are in a prop match, and if you heard that, I forgot to mute my mic when I recorded this match, And so basically how I recorded the footage for this video, I just I played the Bearcat a couple times just over the course of like a week or so, and put together some of the matches that I played. And I recorded them with fraps, but sometimes I forgot to mute the microphone. So in this one you can hear mouse clicks and some of my keyboard taps, and I think once my phone text message thing goes off, and I might say something to myself every now and again. So just keep that in mind, that you might hear my voice or something in the background. So we are going to climb, because this plane does that very well. This thing climbs incredibly well, especially after you get all the engine and part upgrades, because especially the last one, it's like throttle or engine injection or something like that. That last one like is a huge boost to the climb rate for this plane. So yeah, this plane performs a lot better when it's fully upgraded compared to when it's stock. I mean, it's still good, but you're going to want to get this thing upgraded because it's amazing when it is. So yeah, we're going to climb here. I always load the 20 minutes of fuel. I tend to load the lowest fuel amount possible for every plane. Usually I find that the match will end before my fuel runs out, and every now and then I'll play a match where I'll need to return to base, and that's usually to refuel, reload, repair, that kind of stuff. But I find that most of the time my fuel will actually last me throughout the whole match. So that's why I tend to load the lowest amount, because it's the one that gives the best performance. So we are just trying to get above the clouds and see when we can spot the enemy. We're on almost a whole team full of Bearcats, I think, if I remember correctly. A couple Tempests. So yeah, the Bearcat is my favorite Tier 4. It's actually my favorite prop plane, but in the whole game. But in Tier 4, this thing is a monster. 6.3 battle rating. You know, every nation has its, like, you know, top, you know, propeller-driven planes, and this is definitely the top plane for America. I don't care that the F8F is ahead of it. This thing outperforms the F8F. The F8F has more firepower. It's got the AN M2s, 4 of those, and then it has 4 M2 Brownings, but the 12.7s. But this thing can turn faster. The climb rate is very similar, I think. And yeah, I mean, I think the F8F definitely goes faster in a straight line, because the Bearcat isn't that fast in a straight line. I mean, it's not slow either, but it's not. I mean, like the LA9 is incredibly fast in a straight line. Same with the Tempest 2, and the Tempest 5 is pretty fast too. So the Bearcat will not keep up with them in a straight line, but I'm pretty sure the Bearcat, I know the Bearcat outclimbs the LA9, and I'm pretty sure the Bearcat outclimbs the Tempest 2 as well, but I don't know. My Tempest 2 isn't fully upgraded, so we're just heading towards the middle, and I see a dot off to the left. I'm not looking at it right now, but I can see it through the clouds. Right there is spotted, the LA9. So I'm gonna call it out. And if you guys didn't know, the reason why I always call out where it says eliminate the target or whatever is because it spots it for your teammates that might not see it. And now I see 2 more dots coming in. So basically I'm gonna try and zoom climb a little bit. I'm losing speed, but I'm gaining altitude. I want to have an altitude advantage over all 3 of these guys. And so I'm going to level off here because it doesn't look like any of them are interested in me. We have those 2 Tempests to our right that they're going after. So I'm going to try and bag this LA9 here in the rear, because always go for tail end Charlie, and that was my phone just going off in the video there. And then we have another dot coming in right there, the Yak 15. So yeah, always go for the guy that's behind, because the people in front would have to turn a full 360 to go and shoot at you, whereas if you attack the guy in front, then the guys behind him could always, you know, shoot at you. So it's a good good idea to always go for the last guy in line. So that's what I was doing. But now I broke off them, and I'm going to try and get this Yak 15. I'm going to miss him here, I think. Yeah, I was going too fast. Overcooked that dive here. I think he took a couple shots at me, but luckily he missed. Yak 15 has 23mm cannons. So we are going to... We see this LA9 coming in. It looks like he wants to go for a head-on. I don't really want to head-on him. I was going to take a couple shots and then break off, but it looks like he broke off first, so now I'm going to follow him. And this was the guy that I was going after earlier. Take another quick shot. Miss it. We are on his tail. We're diving. Never been good at shooting while I was diving, but again, with this plane, see, I would never take these kind of shots with the F8F-1 because you just don't have that kind of ammo to waste. But I can afford to take a couple pot shots with this guy. And I'm missing every shot, but that's fine because this plane definitely has the ammo count where you can do that. So I'm going to break off him and go for the guy that just went vertical because the LA9 that I was chasing is probably going to want to go straight and then give him some room to turn around on me. And so I'm going to capitalize on that, and I turned around on this other LA9 here that's chasing my friend, and was about to attack him again when I realized that the other LA9's coming in, but he's not going after me. So again, we're going to go after tail end Charlie, take this guy out, boom, clipped his wing, he's dead. Now we're going to go in for kill number 2, and this guy lines it up perfectly for me here, and he's dead. So we just eliminated 2 LA9s very quickly. This guy's very thankful, and we're going to move in on, I think, the TU2. But we have that Yak 15 coming in. It's always a good idea to eliminate those jets when you can, because they're going to outspeed all the props, and they can run for a long time if they want to, and you don't want to drag out that match by having these guys run. So I'm going to eliminate this guy. Boom. These cannons are incredible. That's 3 guys in like 5 minutes apart from each other anyway. Not 5 minutes into the match, but you know. So yeah, and that's pretty much the whole team eliminated there. So yeah, that was a fairly quick match. Completely destroyed these guys. But yeah, the cannons on this thing are incredible, and I do have another match to show you guys. So we're going to play 2 matches today. We got some team killing going on. But let's look at the results for this match first, and then we'll get into that other one. So yeah, I really like this plane. This plane's a good plane. That's a bit about what there is to say about it. Very powerful. Let's take a look at what we got here. This was my ×2 for one of the days that I played, so this first match I played of the day. It's good first match. We had 3 kills. That talisman got me a ton of research on this thing. It's 14,000 without premium. I got a new little roundel thing. Let's see what we have here. Bulletproof, Balancer, Terror of the Sky, Best Squad, Final Blow, Win Streak, Shadow Strike, Professional, Multi-Strike, and Avenger. So, yeah, this plane's very good. So, let's take it out of the other match, because I have one more to show you, and see how we do there. Okay, so this time we are on Krimsk, and believe it or not, we were fighting the Russians again. So, we have another Bearcat here on the team. We got some Spitfires, a couple Tempests. So, this should be an interesting match. I had a match where I was versing the Japanese, but I actually had a bunch of these recorded, and I just kind of picked the best ones, you know, the ones that I liked the most. So this one was an interesting match. We again see some jets on the enemy team, but that won't be a problem. So we got a couple Spitfires, Tempests. It's actually kind of a large match. We got a bunch of people playing, which is good. I always like those matches. I don't like the matches where it's just like a couple people, like 5 people on each team. I like 10 plus people on each team. Those are my favorite kind of matches. Everybody has a chance to, you know, get something. But on those ones where it's like, you know, 5 people per team, you could be climbing or just go off in the wrong direction or something, and you never see anybody, you know. Like sometimes you have those matches where you climb and you try and do all the right things, but the whole enemy team goes low, and the rest of your team takes them out before you can even get down there. So, but with a match like this, you should at least see some action here. So I'm just looking around at some people's stats. I like to see who I'm playing with, playing against, that kind of thing. So I feel like this team is going to do fairly well. We have almost a whole team full of fighters. We have one Lancaster, and that's about the only plane that isn't a fighter here. So we got Tempest 2s, Tempest 5s. I don't think we have any F8F-1s. We're all 1Bs. We got some F7Fs though. So we should do fairly okay here. So we're just trying to climb, get above the clouds here. We should have no problem out climbing the Russian planes, because I don't think any of them can match the climb rate of the Bearcat. So I don't really have to worry a whole lot there. But so getting above the clouds, waiting to see the first dots here on the enemy team, spot them. Sometimes confuse myself whether it's a dot or whether it's a thingy on my computer screen, but you know. Dun, 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 dun. I have my cat here, so if you hear like a meow or something, that's my cat. It's pestering me. So we got that Lancaster over there. Now, a lot of the times having bombers, this is going to sound really bad, but having bombers on your team is kind of helpful, because generally a lot of the enemy players will just go dive on the first thing they see, and so they'll attack that bomber, and then you get 3 or 4 guys all in the same spot, and it's really easy pickings for someone who can just boom and zoom all of them, you know. But I don't think that's the case in this match. But a Lancaster is a very juicy target. It doesn't have a whole lot of defensive armament. It's almost all 7.7s, and I think the late Lancaster that you can get has like one 12.7, but honestly, that's not going to do a whole lot. So, just climbing. Looks like we're ahead of everybody on my team. We're above everyone, so that's good. That's always a good situation. Shut up, cat. Situation to have. Another thing that people like to attack is that observation aircraft. Like you can see with that PE-2 there. A lot of people will go attack that, and you can see either they destroy it in the chat, or sometimes you can see their tracers shooting at it, and you know exactly where there's a dude on the enemy that isn't really paying attention because he's trying to shoot at the that little AI observation aircraft. I generally don't go for them, but you get quite a few points if you do. My cat is really pestering me right now. Just looking around for dots. We should be seeing some any minute here. Yeah, and there we go. We have a dot spotted to the right of that PE-2. I'm taking a look at it right there. It looks like it's an LA-9. There we are. So I'm going to spot him again. Play him out to the team, so that they know they're there. Alright, somebody already did though, but you know, whatever. And Lancaster set a fire by I-185. So someone's attacking the Lancaster. Here's another dot coming in to the left of the PE-2. We are just going to try and stay above the situation right now. I don't want to dive in there, because a lot of times if you go dive on that first guy, you got 3 or 4 other guys that are following him. They're willing to come take you out. So here we have another LA-9. We have another 3 dots coming in, 1 above the Lancaster and 2 to the left over there. Tons of tracers firing, so I'm not feeling like, you know, diving down into that quite yet. I'm going to kind of stay up here, pick my target, play it safe, that kind of thing. So tons of LA-9s. We have an I-185. So yeah, I'm staying above everybody here, kind of seeing what people want to do. I don't really want to dive down there because we don't have a whole lot of teammates in the area to back me up, so. And I think I'm going to go after the LA-9. So, let's see if we can get some hits on this guy. Take a couple pot shots here. We got a crit, rudder, and then he's smoking. I'm going to break off because I don't want to lose all my altitude yet. And I think he bails out. Yeah, he does. So, that's 1 kill already. But I want to make sure I get all that altitude back, because we still have a lot of guys on the enemy team that are above me, and I don't want to lose it all yet. So it pays to have that altitude advantage, trust me. So we are going to flip back over. We got some more dots spotted. There's a guy under me, 2 guys in front of me, 1 guy above the chat that's not spotted, but he's a dot. Or not the chat, but the, yeah, there we go, Yak 15. And we have a Yak 17 off to our left. So, I'm going to try and go after that LA9, but when I see how fast that Yak 17 is incoming, I decide that that's probably the better target, so I'm going to go after this Yak 17. I'm fairly confident I can beat this guy in a head-on, but he breaks off, so that's fine for me. Spraying a couple shots, get a hit, but nothing too juicy. And he's going to come back down, which is going to allow me another shot. But again, a hit. He's now smoking, but nothing critical. So I believe I do follow this guy for a while until I see my friend over here. He's getting harassed by this I-185, so I'm going to go after him and see if I can help him out a little bit. He's smoking. It looks like he's probably on the losing side of that battle, so here we go. I'm going to take a dive on this guy. It's kind of hard to see him through the clouds, but I can follow his name unless he disappears, but I'm just checking my 6 to make sure there's nobody that's going to come after me while I dive into this. And here we go. Get out of there, cat. So it's an M71. I got a couple hits. I'm going pretty fast, so I'm gonna cut my throttle a little bit and pull it up gently so I don't rip my wings. I don't really know when this thing rips. I've never ripped my wings in the Bearcat before, so. And now I kind of see that a lot of the fighters are down here, close to the ground, so that's where I'm gonna stay. And I'm going fast, so I still have an energy advantage over most of these guys that have been down here turning for a while. So I am not afraid to go down here, and the Bearcat is actually very good at turning too. It has a very quick turn time, so we shouldn't have any problem in this little fur ball here down in the middle. But again, we want to eliminate those jets. We have a Yak 15 here, and we have a Yak 17 that we shot at before. So those are going to be my top priority, aside from whoever's closest. I generally attack the closest guys, but so we have that Yak 15 shooting at our friend here. We're going to see if we can get him. The better target here might have been that LA9 there, but I really want to eliminate the jets. So I'm going to spray a little bit. Bad aim, and he's dead. Yeah, we took off the tip of his wing, so that guy's out. Now we were going to go for this Yak 17. It looks like he wants to go for a head-on, but yeah, I think he actually just tries to go under me, and that doesn't work out very well for him because that guy got destroyed. These cannons are really amazing. It only takes a couple shots. And that leaves us with this LA9 in the area, the last enemy plane here in the area. So, the thing about the LA9 is it's very fast in a straight line at low altitude. So, about the only thing here that's going to at least keep up with it would be the Tempest 2. So I'm just going to break off because he's definitely going to outspeed the Bearcat. And there's some ground targets here to go for, so. One thing that I had to consider, though, is that, like, at this point, I don't exactly have a ton of fuel. You know, I got enough, but, and I think I have enough ammo if I did end up running into the last guy. But I don't really know how long it's going to take our team to find it. So at this point, I'm at that debate, because I always load that low fuel amount, and I don't exactly have a ton of ammo left. I mean, I have enough. Certainly I have enough, but I don't have it, like, a ton. So I'm at this debate at this point where I'm thinking, should I go back to base, or should I try and find this guy, you know? And so what I've decided is that I'm going to finish taking out the ground targets that are nearby, and then after that, if this guy doesn't appear, then we're going to go head back to the base. So I'm just getting this last couple things of AAA here, hovering over this little command point, whatever that thing's called. And it's important to note that sometimes that text that appears in the lower right-hand corner can be sort of important in a match like this. Sometimes it can help you locate where the enemy team is at. And I'm just looking back behind us here. I see the AAA shooting at me here, so I'm going to double back and try and take it out. But yeah, sometimes it can help you locate exactly where the enemy players are. And here you can see armored car destroyed by an IL-10. So that tells me pretty much the general location of where that IL-10 is. And I'm going to show you that here after I kill this AAA that's shooting at me, because AAA is deadly accurate in realistic battles. It can take a wing off in one hit. So, there's only certain spots on the map where we have ground forces like armored cars and stuff. And that would be over towards the middle of the map, which is where I'm heading. There's another spot over by our landing field, closer to the landing field, but pretty much my whole team has gone back to the base to land. So I'm sure the guy's probably not over there because my team probably would have spotted him and taken him out by now. So I'm willing to bet that he is at that little cluster farther away from our landing strip, which is over towards that little blue circle right there that you see right in front of the plane. So I'm going to head that way, but I have to find this guy before I run out of fuel, you know, because I have enough fuel to make it back to base right now, but if I start, you know, flying through all these little mountains and everything to try to find this guy and I can't find him, I might not end up with enough fuel to be able to make it back to base. So I want to make sure that I get this guy. So I'm going to just head over in this direction in the hopes that I'm going to be able to take this guy out pretty quickly. I know he's in an IL-10, so I'm not worried about this guy beating me in a fight. About the only thing an IL-10 destroy a Bearcat in is a head-on, or if he caught me off guard. But if I'm searching for this guy, and I know he's doing ground attacks, which means he's low to the ground, so I'm not worried about him catching me off guard. But I know I don't want to go heads up with this guy, because if he's an IL-10, just a regular IL-10, he's got two 23mm cannons. But if he's the IL-10 1946, he's got four 23mm cannons, and neither one of those armaments is something that I want to put my plane up against. Because even though I have four very powerful 20mm cannons, one shot from his 23mm can kill my pilot or take a wing off or something, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just not going to risk going heads up with this guy. So I don't see him yet, which has got me stressing a little bit because I really need to find this guy or I'm going to have to go back to base. And it would be nice to add another kill onto my my kill streak, I guess, in this game. So over past this little ridge is actually a runway that the enemy can use to rearm and repair. So I'm going to check over there. And it turns out that's exactly where this guy is. You can see him right there. He just took off, it looks like. So I am going to gain altitude so that he's not going to be able to pitch up at me. And I misfired my guns there, clicking the wrong mouse button. So basically, he's at a low energy state because he just took off, and he's an IL-10, so his takeoff speed is not going to be that great. He's going to be pretty slow coming right off the ground like that. So, and it doesn't even look like he's going to go heads up at me, so I'm going to make this first pass, get a hit, double back around, roll over, and he's going pretty slow, so I have to take that into account when I pull up onto his tail. And it doesn't look like he's in the 1946 version, he's just in the IL-10, and there we go, pilot snipe. So, if it was a 1946 version, you'd have to worry about the 20mm cannon that's on the rear gun, because that thing is fatal. Like, if you take a hit from that, I mean, you can get one-shotted. Imagine the 12.7s, how they are on the B-17s and B-24s. One shot from that, and you can die if you're trailing a B-17. But think about a 20mm cannon, like the ones on the G8Ns or whatever. One shot from those, and you're done. But it does not look like he was in 1946, and I think it would have said 1946 if it was. He was just the regular IL-10. So, let's take a look at our results. We did pretty well this match. Yeah, so I'm going to be signing out after this match. We played 2 matches today. We did pretty well. This plane is definitely worth getting. If you were looking for good American late-tier planes, this is the plane you want to go for, because this thing's amazing. So, just looking at what we got here, we unlocked the one of the rocket modifications, so we're going to research the other one. That is going to be about it for the video today, guys. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Check out the game. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will catch you next time.